If you've left a spiritually abusive environment, you probably thought the hardest part was over. But what no one tells you is that the real battle starts after you leave. I'm Elisha, a counselor, and today I'm talking about the 3 hidden stages of spiritual abuse recovery that nobody warns you about. The first thing no one tells you, you're going to feel guilty for leaving. And I don't mean a little guilt. I mean the kind of guilt that wakes you up at 3 a.m. wondering if you made the biggest mistake of your life. Here's what that looks like. You'll question if you were the problem. Maybe I was too sensitive. Maybe I didn't try hard enough. Maybe if I just had submitted more, prayed more, believed more. You'll feel guilty for abandoning people inside. You see their posts. You know they're still there. And part of the feels like you betrayed them for yourself. You'll feel guilty for doubting what you were taught because when someone tells you for years that questioning leadership is the same as questioning God, that belief doesn't just disappear when you walk out the door. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Guilt is the last chain they put on you before you left. It's designed to pull you back. It's designed to make you feel and think that leaving is actually rebellion. But let me tell you something as a counselor. Healthy communities don't require guilt to keep people. If the only thing holding you there was fear of what, Elisha here, you and we're on this winding road of life together, and I'd like to share a little piece of my soul with you, something to bring us closer on this shared journey of growth and self-discovery. The mental health handbook is a piece of that shared journey, and it's not just a collection of my thoughts, it's a sanctuary where we can learn resilience and arm ourselves with self-care tools for those days that just feel too heavy. Consider it a conversation between friends, one that I hope brings you comfort and strength. And for those times when we seek quiet reflection, I've crafted the mindfulness coloring book for adults. Picture us side by side, lost in the simple joy of coloring, allowing the stillness and the words of peace and forgiveness to wrap around us like warm embrace. I want these books to be part of your journey, to walk with you and guide you towards a fuller, more peaceful heart. It's a path we travel together, one filled with understanding, care, and the gentle reminder that you're not alone. Both the Mental Health Handbook and Mindfulness Coloring Book for Adults are waiting for you on Amazon and at the Restoring You Christian Counseling website. These spaces are more than just stories, they're gateways to the experiences we can share and grow from. Let's take this step to nurture our mental and spiritual health together. Find the books, and let's start unfolding the beauty and strength that lies within us, page by page, color by color. Thank you for letting me part of your journey. Here's to the discoveries we'll make and the peace we'll find together. What would happen if you left? Then that's not love. And you don't owe loyalty to a system that taught you to abandon yourself. The second thing no one tells you, you're going to be lonely. Really, really lonely. Because when you leave spiritual abuse, you don't just lose a church, you lose your entire social structure. The people you texted every day, the potlucks, the Bible studies, the group chats, the built in community that knew your name, your sense of belonging. You go from being part of something bigger than yourself to sitting alone on a Sunday morning wondering where you even fit anymore. Your identity. If you were the worship leader, the youth volunteer, the faithful one, who are you now? What do you even do with yourself? And here's the part that makes it worse, that people still inside will pull away from you, not because they hate you, but because the system taught them that your leaving is dangerous, it's contagious, it's a threat to their faith. So they distance themselves. They stop calling, and suddenly you're grieving not just the abuse, but the loss of everyone you thought would be there no matter what. If you're in this stage right now, I need you to hear this. Your loneliness is not proof that you made the wrong choice. It's proof that you were in a system that made itself your entire world so that leaving would feel impossible. Healthy faith communities don't isolate you from the outside world, they don't make themselves your only source of connection. And the fact that you feel alone right now, that's not your failure. That's the design of the system you left. You're not alone because you're broken. You're alone because you were brave enough to choose yourself. The third thing no one tells you, you're going to be terrified that you got it wrong. Even months, sometimes years after leaving, you'll have moments where you think, what if they were right and I was deceived? What if I'm the one in rebellion? What if I'm going to hell for leaving? The fear, it can be paralyzing because it's not just about being wrong, it's about eternal consequences. It's your soul. Here's what's happening in your brain. You were conditioned to believe that leaving equals spiritual death. They told you, if you leave this covering, you'll be vulnerable to attack. If you reject this teaching, you're rejecting God. If you walk away, you'll lose your salvation. And now, every time something goes wrong in your life, a bad day, a financial struggle, a relationship issue, your brain whispers, see, you shouldn't have left. Here's the truth. Spiritual abuse trains you to confuse their voice with God's voice. So when you hear that fear, that's not God, that's the echo of their control. God doesn't use fear to keep you close. Abusers do. And the fact that you're questioning whether you made the right choice, that's not weakness, that's actually a sign of health. Because people who've been spiritually abused were taught that doubt is sin. So the fact that you're allowing yourself to question, to process, to think critically, that's growth. You're not wrong for leaving, you're healing. So if you're in the messy middle of recovery right now, if you're feeling guilty, lonely, and scared, I want you to know this is normal. And it gets better. Recovery from spiritual abuse isn't linear. Some days you'll feel free. Other days you'll feel like you're drowning. But here's what I've seen as a counselor working with people just like you. The guilt fades when you start building a life that's actually yours, not the life they told you to live. Your life. The loneliness fades when you find people who love you without conditions, not because you serve them, not because you believe the right things, just because you're you. The fear fades when you realize that leaving didn't kill you, it saved you. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're not too far gone. You're in the wilderness right now, and the wilderness is hard, but it's also where you find yourself again. If this video resonated with you, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the biggest lie spiritual abuse tells you is that you're the only one who feels this way. You're not. And if you want more content on trauma, faith, and recovery, subscribe to this channel. I'm Elisha, and this is the space where your questions are welcome, your doubts are valid, and your healing matters. I'll see you in the next video.